All right, here we go. I call to order the September 16th, 2021 Board of Commissioners regular session. Madam Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Steve Frisbee.
Present.
Commissioner Derek King.
Present.
Commissioner Tommy Miller.
Present.
Commissioner Gary Tompkins.
Present.
Commissioner Kathy Sue Fetty.
Here.
Commissioner Michelle Hatcher.
Present.
Commissioner Jake Smith.
Present.
We have quorum.
Thank you. After a moment of silence, Commissioner Fetty will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the September 16, 2021 Board of Commissioners regular session agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support.
Have a motion support. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the September 2nd, 2021 Board of Commissioners regular session as presented?
So moved, Tompkins.
Support Betty.
Tompkins and Vetty. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Next item is citizens' time. The next item, during citizens' time, the board chair shall recognize any person wishing to address the board. Any person recognized by the chair shall approach the podium and state his or her name and community of residence. A person may address the board only once on the same matter during each period set aside for citizens' time on the agenda and only on matters that are relevant to county government. The chair shall control the length of each person shall be allowed to speak, which shall not exceed 3 minutes and shall not allow negative personal comments. Is there anyone that would like to address their commissioners? Is there anyone? Last chance. Gone. All right. Any elected or appointed county officials from the back row? Nobody?
They're all hiding in there.
All right, we're moving along. Special order of business. We have a proclamation for Miles for Memories, and I'll go ahead and read that. Whereas Miles for Memories began with its first event on September 7th, 2013 for the purpose of raising funds and increasing awareness for Alzheimer's disease in Calhoun County, and whereas Miles for Memories has adopted the vision statement of creating solutions for those impacted by dementia in Calhoun County through movement, programming, and research. And whereas Miles for Memories is a volunteer-led organization that has developed programs and trainings across the country aimed at helping those impacted by dementia. Such initiatives offer hope for identifying and providing the best types of care, lifestyle, programs, personal training, safety, risk reduction, and more. And whereas Miles for Memories takes pride in amazing collaborations made through the development of a Help Home program, a program designed to help individuals experiencing some form of dementia to register in a database maintained by the Consolidated 911 Dispatch Authority. And whereas Miles for Memories has expanded those collaborations to develop new GPS Safe Return Watch and a personal medical ID to locate loved ones that have wandered. And whereas the Help Home program was expanded in February to include a visual bracelet program aimed at helping provide emergency contact information for loved ones who have wandered or are missing. These combined safety programs have helped bring at least 33 individuals back home without an unnecessary trip to the hospital for care. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Calhoun County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim Miles for Memories be recognized for their commitment to the raising awareness and funds for dementia, as well as creating solutions for families throughout Calhoun County. September 16th, signed by me, Steve Frisbee, Chair of the Calhoun County Board of Commissioners. I have a motion to adopt it.
So moved. Betty.
Support.
I have a motion to support. Is there any discussion? Just want to say I'm very proud to be part of this group. Sherry and Carla are, and
Be nice.
name. Helen.
There you go.
I'm having a dementia moment. Sorry, Helen. I can't. That's why I'm part of the group. I'm getting an early start. I'm so sorry, Helen. Are here to accept this proclamation, and very proud to what they've accomplished and what they're going to accomplish in this community. So, all those in favor? Did we already do that? No. See? Aye. All those in favor? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? There we go. Come on up. I'll give you a do we have that proclamation?
Do you need a walker?
Yeah, I need a walker. Do we have one in a? Do we have one in a frame?
Ellen, where's your name tag?
Carla would have brought you a wheelchair had
Is it
you
in
known.
here?
She probably got one in her van.
And I
there.
can get a cover.
Oh, don't worry.
Steve's gonna come.
You just need to sign.
I'll take it off.
Get Gary too. And Gary's here Steve now.
My cognitive ability must be just a little bit because I knew your name, Ellen.
Hey, and we make sure Smack can get appointed, so why don't we all go?
I know, right? We could stand up behind.
I'm good. Evidence for the contact tracing.
They're not there for 15 minutes. Do you want to say anything?
Well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Sherry's gonna.
Sherry, you going to say something?
She's gonna correct you.
Would you like to add something? No.
Do I have to do? Oh, there we
you
go.
go.
I don't know how I did it, but I like it. Okay. Anyway, just wanted to add 100 to that number. It's 133 individuals that have come home as part of the Help Home program. And then secondarily, as much as we have the ability to go all the way across the country, most of our efforts are really right here in the county and the state of Michigan with the new grants that we have received from the Michigan Health Endowment Fund. So couldn't do it without all of the volunteers that are part of the program, because that's what we all are as volunteers. And Steve, your leadership has been excellent, so thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. All right, we'll move along. Our next item is consent agenda. We have 4 items on the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda for September 16th as presented?
So moved, Tompkins.
I have a motion support. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Special committee workshop and board reports.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. First and foremost, we, Senior Millage Committee, met on September 10th. We received an update from the Albion Senior Housing Commission on the latest developments on their strategic project, bringing senior housing to Albion. I think we were very impressed with what we've seen in terms of their progression, and if they're going about it, they're doing it the right way, taking their time, but yet being very diligent in hitting all the measures. So we also reviewed and recommended for approval the 2022 senior service budget that was presented. And also we approved supplemental funding requests for the Fountain Clinic, for the prescription program, Community Action Minor Home Repair, Community Action Home Heating Assistance, and the senior services for metal ramps. The metal ramps are specific because one of the things that we're trying to do is some of these ramps actually be reusable or temporary. You know, many people may not want, they may have an elderly person that may move into their home, but they don't want an actual structure to be built, but rather have metal ramps that they can easily move in and out. So that was very good. Also, the Homer Lake Board met on September 14th. We heard a report from Blake Mallory of PLM on the 2021 lake spray review. 3 sprays were performed, focused on the starry stonewort, which was a non-native species to the lake. Actually was introduced by a boat from another lake, actually. And what's happened is that's become the major area, if you will, the major concern for us going forward in terms of treating the lake. Additionally, the pier area was treated for lily pads to keep the area accessible for fishing, and the channel was widened for easier access to boats to navigate. Again, part of our overall plan to do that. We also approved the assessment roll for 2021. The tax roll, and we also approved the final $2,000 payoff for the loan We paid that loan off 9 years earlier than expected. So we were very diligent with our money, very pointed in terms of making sure that we are now officially as a board debt-free. So good information there. So a lot of good things going on. And that's my report. Thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Vetti.
Yeah, okay, all right. Thank you, Chair Frisbee. Summit Point had their board meeting in September, and we did part 1 of our strategic plan. And Sherry Sherman serves on that board with us, and also Kelly Scott, and we were very efficient. Right? Kelly was very happy about that. And we're going to do part 2 in October. And we just passed through on our consent agenda our newest board member, Kathy George, who is the CEO of Firekeepers. So I'm excited about having her join. And then Goldbeck Lake Board met, and piggybacking off of what Commissioner Tompkins said, it's crazy the types of problems that the lakes have. One of them is that apparently in Vicksburg, a home aquarium was like dumped out into a lake there. And so then that has now proceeded to create a problem all across the state of Michigan that is transferred. I know, it's crazy. And it's very, very expensive. And so anyways, and so it brings all these, all this, what I want to say, like weeds and just, bad.
Non-native species.
No, it's not. It's not. And that's what they traced it back to. And so anyways, on a good note with Goldbeck Lake, we do have an organization, a group that contractors that clean up spots in the lake if needed. And normally that's very, very large. And we're like 10 grand below this year. So we think that means that the weed killings, that has done a really good job. And we're on the last year of that, so we'll have to move forward on a 5-year plan again. But so anyways, thank you very much.
Just a comment about your strategic planning.
Yeah.
I participated in a community part of that early on, and I really appreciate having the opportunity to be able to give that input as to what I see in healthcare and as a business leader. So I think I hope the process works for you, and I think it was very valuable input.
Yeah,
So,
I do too. I think it's been going great. Thank
great.
you.
Anybody else? All right. We have no unfinished or old business. Let's go to new business, the Administrator Controller's report. I'll turn it over to Kelly Scott.
Whoever I am.
See if you're paying attention. Take it away, Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, can you all, turn them in. I did that on purpose.
I will add a couple of board and committee reports. The County Visitors Bureau Board also met on September 7. We are still meeting virtually, and Commissioner Kathy Sue Vetti is the chair of that. And I think the most important thing we did was discuss our CEO's annual evaluation and compensation recommendation. Kind of paused on that last year due to COVID, so it was important for us to get that back on track. And then the AMSA board met also on September 7. They voted to suspend the membership dues again this year after saving money last year from essentially no meeting activity. So AMSA is an organization made up of Battle Creek City and their surrounding townships, and they work really hard to create consistent forms and processes so that when people are doing business with our local governments, there's some efficiency and some consistency there. And then finally, our broadband task force met on September 9. We are continuing to move forward. This month is the end of the internet survey through Merit Network, and then the next step that we're starting already is to work on an RFP for broadband services. So I think we've described this. The Michigan's Metro Act is the legislation that governs local governments being able to provide internet services. And so one of the requirements is we have to put out a request for proposals from private internet providers to see if anybody's interested, and we need to determine the specifications for that. So we're working on that with the contract we have with Aspen Wireless. We're hoping to get that RFP out within the next few months. And I also want to mention, I highlighted in my update report this month that as you've seen across the county, across the state, and across the country, we are also hiring and looking for good talent within county government. I just looked and we have 24 positions posted on our website. And I'd like to say we do our best to support and value our employees. I think we have tried with the board's support to offer competitive pay and benefit packages, and there are just a variety of career choices within the county, and a lot of them come with promotion opportunities and the ability to have flexible schedules, and we're getting ready to introduce a new, more permanent remote work policy. Doesn't work for everyone, but in certain situations that's an option, and we've heard from our benefits consultants that things like the flexible scheduling and remote work are an important value of people entering the workforce and looking to relocate. So if you know anyone who's looking for a job, please refer them to our website. And that is my report. So on to new business tonight. We just have 3 items under new business. The first one is 12B1. This is a formal bid put out through our purchasing department. It's a bid award for janitorial services for all of the county-owned buildings. We received 3 proposals. One of them was GDI Omni from Southfield, who has been our incumbent vendor. We received one from Clean Complete in Kalamazoo and one from LGC Global in Detroit. As per our normal protocol, there is an evaluation committee that looks at price but also experience and referencing, and they are recommending the same company we've been working with, GDI Omni. They did happen to be the low bidder. The contract did come with an 18% increase, but we noted in there that over the past 3 years there was a 0% increase, so I think they're trying to catch up. And obviously, sometimes you get what you pay for with janitorial services. It's one of the most difficult contracts for us to manage and really hold them to accountability with the standards for cleaning within our buildings. They, are an industry that was hardest hit through COVID, and even before that have had high turnover rates. So we put in some, I think, stronger language in the bid award to just really emphasize that we really do want you to dust the surfaces and empty the trash and vacuum when needed. So it's a 3-year contract that we're recommending. It's a little over $300,000 a year, so just under $1 million over the next 3 years. And then there's an option to extend for a couple years. And if Brad Wilcox were here, he would point out that lately, every time we do a competitive bid, the prices are just going up and up. So the strategy to at least be able to extend for a couple more years could be in our favor.
Can I have a motion to approve the bid award for janitorial services RFP number 112-21 with GDI Services Incorporated as presented?
Support.
Have a motion support. Is there any discussion? All right. Please vote online, electronically. Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Okay. Item 12B2 is our annual PA2, Public Act 2 alcohol tax budget that comes through us. It's passing through, we're required to pass through 50% of the alcohol liquor tax that is collected in Calhoun County to Southwest Michigan Behavioral Health, which is our regional administrator for these dollars and for services that relate to substance use disorder treatment and prevention services. This year, I think the main thing to point out is that because the funding is clearly not enough to fund everything we need to do, and mental health services like this, I think are even more needed trying to emerge from the pandemic. So you approved back in August, one of the ARPA Phase 1 allocations we proposed and you approved was basically to reimburse the county so that we could offer an additional $333,000 to this program. So we're essentially doubling the county's contribution for this budget for the next year. And the goal is to 100% fund the request that we got from our drug court, our sobriety court, veterans court, to reinstate the Summit Point Services contract to offer group treatment in our jail, and to continue the funding to the Haven of Rest. And in addition, we're hopeful that with a budget amendment that should be coming soon, maybe in November, we are committed to fully funding the requests from the Substance Abuse Council and, SAPS. Gary, was this? Substance Abuse Prevention Services and Albion. Those are our two prevention vendors in Calhoun County. They have for the past several years not been included in the PA2 budget because SWMBA has been able to find block grant and other funding sources. There is a gap yet this year that's shown on the face of this budget, just for your information. So right now, the PA2 budget we're asking you to approve does not have funding in, again, for the prevention services. However, if SWMBA is not able to find that through their own ARPA allocation or through other funding, we do want to come back in the next couple of months once that's worked out and potentially use some of the funding that right now will sit in this excess fund balance for our PA2 dollars and allocate that to the prevention services. So I just really want to make that clear that our commitment and part of the reason for allocating additional funding was to make sure that we could fully fund all of our programs, including prevention. So it's a $517,860 expense budget, which is an increase from last year's, which was only $382,000, which is more of our new normal annual allocation just from the alcohol tax.
Can I have a motion to approve the PA budget for fiscal year 21-22 as presented?
So moved. Support.
Have a motion support. Is there any discussion?
Just real quickly.
Yes, sir.
In terms of the increase for the funding regarding those programs, was there any discussion regarding long-term sustainability of that? Or is this more of just kind of a one-time feel? Because you obviously, when you create these, which they're great programs and great treatment courts, long-term sustainability to be able to stay at that level, is that something that was discussed in that meeting?
It was discussed internally with our budget committees, and what we've done so far is just earmarked for the next 2 years of our ARPA funding possibly a similar additional allocation. It is not long-term sustainability. It is basically a shot in the arm for the next couple of years with hopes that more funding for mental health will be coming down from the federal government and from the state as all of the reorganization for mental health funding is taking place. So just sort of acknowledging that there's a lot of transition with mental health funding, including substance use disorder. So there is an immediate need that we're trying to help, but this is not going to create a sustainable ongoing budget.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's been a regular discussion every year about specialty courts.
Is marijuana taxed like that, like recreational? Would that be, as that revenue goes up, would that be somewhere we can put some of that revenue into?
It is a possibility. That's a good question. So far, we've only got the one medical marijuana allocation this year of about $360,000. Once we start getting the recreational marijuana into the county, it will come as basically unrestricted funding other than the part of it that's going to the sheriff's office. So we could allocate that as well, ongoing. It's just right now no one can predict how much we're going to get and with what frequency. We think it will not start until next year, after the state takes their portion to do what they're required to do with it.
Right, yeah.
Are they expecting to get higher?
Yes. And higher and higher.
See what you did there.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, just wanted to say that I'm going to abstain from this as an employee of the coordinating agency.
Yeah. And
No perceived conflict of interest.
I think everybody believes that's an appropriate abstention, including council. Go ahead and vote. Cast your vote electronically. Everyone has voted. It passes unanimously with one exception or abstainment. All right. What's that? It's accurate in the system. All right.
Yeah, it displayed as a no vote, but in our system, it's recorded as abstain. So just to
Right.
the members of the public, it was Commissioner Smith abstained, not voted no.
I promise he didn't touch anything.
It's 6 yes, 1 abstain.
Yep.
Okay. All right, the last item under new business tonight, 12B3, is a budget amendment for the Sheriff's Office Secondary Road Patrol Grant. The grant has been previously approved by the board, and this is not an increase to the grant. It's just a budget adjustment between line items. It does exceed $20,000, so this is according to the board's budget policy that requires your approval for transfers larger than $20,000. So basically, due to staffing shortages within law enforcement, there are savings in the salaries line item, and the sheriff would like to move that to the equipment line item and use it to replace what they call the total station equipment, which is used to map fatal accidents. Current equipment is about 8 years old, so it needs to be replaced. And fortunately, they've got the savings to do it. It's on a tight timeline because this grant's on the state fiscal year and ends in about 2 weeks, and September 30.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the secondary road patrol grant budget amendment as presented? Have a motion support. Is there any discussion? Please cast your vote. Did you, okay, motion carries. There we go, unanimously. I swear. Stop touching things, Commissioner Smith.
Say the same thing.
All right. That concludes that. We'll move on to citizens' time. Second opportunity, same rules as applied during the first citizens' time. Please limit your time to 3 minutes and no negative personal comments. Is there anybody who'd like to address their commissioners? Ms. Sherbin.
Okay, do I have to say where I'm from? Sherry Sherbin. I'm from Leroy Township. Address, do you need that too? Okay, fabulous. Okay, the thing that I really wanted to mention tonight really has to deal with the PA2 funds. I had no intentions of talking about it, just happened to be here. What I would say is that while all the specialty courts are exceptionally important for us to have here in our counties, the one thing that we shouldn't lose sight of is the value of prevention services. If we can prevent some of these conditions from happening, it's far cheaper than it is to deal with them on the flip side of those situations. So we deal with that regularly as we look at dementia. So if we can prevent that from occurring, it is far less costly to the community than it is trying to deal with someone who's now in a long-term care nursing or skilled nursing facility that's dealing with it at that time. So just encouraging you to keep that in mind as you look at some of those funding shortfalls later on. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? No one? All right. Commissioners' time. Any commissioners have anything tonight?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Tompkins.
All right, thank you.
Vice Chair.
Right on cue, right? No, on a very serious note, I want to take the opportunity this evening to express my sincerest condolences to the family of Bob Fisher from Clarence Township. Bob Fisher was a long-time clerk and secretary, he was the clerk and the supervisor for 48 consecutive years in Clarence Township. From 1972 to 2020, he decided not to run this time around, and unfortunately he got ill and had passed away on September 14th. So had a lot of great conversations with him. He always kept me on my toes as being the Clarence Township supervisor, and certainly he's in our thoughts and prayers, his family is, as they go through this grieving process. So thank you, appreciate
Thanks
that.
for mentioning that.
Yep.
Anybody else? All right, we'll move on. Claims payable. Can I have a motion to approve the Calhoun County claims payable for August 26, 2021 through September 9, 2021 in the amount of $3,247,269.49 as presented?
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
So moved.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion for that $3,247,269.49? Motion and support. Is there any discussion? Please cast your vote. All 7 have voted. Motion carries. All right, any announcements?
Mr. Chair.
And now we have the moment of the 7th District.
All right, absolutely. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. First and foremost, starting tomorrow morning at 7:30 for Eggs and Issues, Albion's 55th Annual Festival of the Fork celebration will be happening this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday. Like I said, it kicks off with Eggs and Issues tomorrow morning at 7:30 at Baldwin Hall. And Helen, is that what your name is? Oh, wait. Sorry.
I was going to call her George.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But yeah, that's tomorrow morning, starting off at Baldwin Hall at Albion College. It all starts with also tomorrow afternoon with a cruising car show, carnival in Rieger Park, music at the brewery stage, comedians at the Bohm, et cetera, et cetera. Saturday there is a large parade at 10 a.m., a 5K run, followed by a carnival, all-day live music, and so much more. The great food, a lot of great stuff going on. If you get a chance, take a look at it. We didn't, unfortunately, City of Albion didn't have it last year because of COVID, but everybody's excited to have it back this year. So if you get the chance, I unfortunately will only be there Friday. Is Saturday morning. I take off for Pittsburgh, so
Have fun, man.
yeah, we'll have a great time. Well, going to Pittsburgh.
There's something called the Steelers there in Pittsburgh.
Sunday at 1 o'clock. If you want to watch the game, you might see me. So there you go. I'll be there. Absolutely. So
Have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. And then on Saturday, September 25th, the Homer Historical Society's 46th Annual Fall Festival will be taking place from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Blair Historical Farm right out on M60. There will be exhibits, demonstrations, displays of antique engines, farm equipment with area crafters, lots of food, and many other activities. There is no admission charge to participate, certainly to be involved. Again, they canceled their annual event last year, so it's just great to see these events starting to come back on so people can get out and enjoy, certainly. And this is a great event, like I said, 46 years. So a lot of great things going on in the 7th. If you get a chance, next couple weekends, there'll be lots going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I see they're putting curbs at the new park in Albion.
Yes. Oh, yes, they are.
Yes. Yep. Cool. We have one event, and that is the Miles for Memories September 25th event, which is our signature event of the year, downtown Battle Creek in Festival Market Square. The event starts at 10. Registration, you can start showing up at 9, and if anybody wants to show up and volunteer, show up at 8. We'll give you a T-shirt. And it'll involve a community stroll, cardio drumming. We have a boxing, I can't remember the name of the boxing thing, but a demonstration about that. It's all about movement and getting people out and about and keeping them moving. So if you can join us, you can also start your marathon there. So we're going to repeat the marathon from last year. The marathon is accomplished any way you want to do it. And how many days it takes you, how many walks it takes you, or jogs, whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. But it's all to raise funds for Miles for Memory. So
Like that there's no judging on that.
no judging.
Very
Right,
nice.
right.
I appreciate
Everybody
that.
and everybody wins.
Everybody.
Yeah. All right. Any other announcements? All right. This meeting's adjourned.